Hey, that shit right there was for Frank Reich. That shit was for Frank. Fuck Jeff Saturday. Fuck Jim Irsay. Fuck whoever their general. Oh, it's Irsay. My bad. Fuck Jim Irsay twice. That shit was for Frank Reich.
Yeah.
You damn better believe it was.
Get my seeing eyeballs on. Oh man.
It was my turn to. It's my turn.
You said it was my turn.
There's a new one of those. They're arguing about Baker Mayfield.
Oh, I saw that, bro. They were going at it.
And Skip Bayless is like, "When is it my turn?" And Shannon is like, "It's not your turn yet." And he's like, "Oh, okay."
Oh my god,
so funny.
This shit's too funny.
Yeah, he's a walking meme.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, y'all? It's another day on the Day One podcast. I'm your co-host Anthony. Name in the bubble. Got my co-host Kyle. Say what's
happening,
up,
y'all?
What you been up to? It's been a minute.
Yeah, bro.
I think it's been a minute for like a minute.
We've been working, bro. Working hard, doing some shit, getting shit done. Like, not a whole lot, bro. Watching sports, loving sports, and just chilling. Mm-hmm.
I feel you.
When I'm not at work, bro. It's been work, watch sports, sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean this past week in the football world was kind of crazy, to say the least.
Yeah, a lot of interesting shit.
Yeah, we'll talk about, a little bit about the Eagles game. They bounced back against the Colts. The Jets lost on a last-second punt. Some other crazy games. Dallas blew out Minnesota. The Giants got blown out by the Lions. Justin Fields could be out for the rest of the season.
LA Chargers left too much time on the clock.
Yeah.
Again.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
It was a week in the National Football League, the Pro American Football League.
The Professional American Football League.
Yes. Close enough.
The PAFL.
Yeah.
You do. Yep.
And also some stuff tonight. Ben Simmons returning to Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been Carson Wentz. We'll get into that one right here in a little bit. We're also going to describe your favorite professional athletes in one word, and go over our spread picks for the week and preview the Turkey Day games.
I'm with it.
All right. Well, I'll start with the obvious here. Ben Simmons. After his brutal exit in Philly, it's still Ben Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
Took his talents to Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. And they are coming into the Wells Fargo Center tonight. No Embiid, no Maxey, no Harden.
Tobias is questionable.
Yeah.
It's just going to be Matisse Thybulle and a bunch of other motherfuckers.
You got Matisse Thybulle, Shake Milton, Niang.
PJ Tucker is 0 points in 4 straight games.
Anthony Melton, that's about it, honestly. Just they're going to be running their entire bench against Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, Joe Harris, Nick Claxton, and Ben Simmons.
Yep. Yeah, dude. I'm excited for this. I'm actually I feel like people were hyping up when he first went, even though he was on the bench, they were hyping it up a little bit more. So now it's not as quiet, but this is a huge test for Ben. It really is. Can he withstand the constant pummeling that Philly's going to give him throughout the entire game? In warm-ups, he's going to touch a ball and they're going to boo.
Yeah.
And you look at his stats the last 2 games, he's really been putting something together. On even his last 3 games, he's shooting 88%. Against Portland a couple days ago, he went for 15 points, 13 rebounds, 7 assists, 6 for 6 shooting. And Let me see here. What was the other game? His last game. Just want to
Yeah,
pull it up.
him and Watanabe
Yeah.
went off.
Yeah, and Ben Simmons against Memphis, 22, 8 and 5, 11 of 13 shooting.
22.
Yeah, 22, 8 and
Whoa.
5, 11 of
Holy,
13 from shooting.
holy cow.
Both in wins. Both in wins. Yeah, dude, it's exciting. Like I want to see. I feel like it's set up for success without like the Sixers having much talent. Like
Yeah.
even if he plays a tough game, if they get a win, I think it's a huge confidence booster towards him becoming a player he used to be. He's on that path. He's playing better. He's healthy again. I think it's exciting for sure because I'd like to see the Nets be a contender just for the entertainment factor alone. And I don't think they can be without Ben Simmons. So
Yeah, he's definitely the key for that team to either be a contender for the East or just a bottom dweller. I mean, and with him kind of struggling these first few games, you've kind of seen the Nets struggle. But with him playing better, they've rattled off a couple wins.
Yeah.
I feel like he'll get it.
Mhm.
It all comes with time.
It does. Like
this is a guy who hasn't played basketball in like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So to expect him to pull a Kevin Durant after he was out for like a year and a half,
Yeah.
and come back the way that he did, there's barely anybody. I don't. Has there been
No.
another
I know
basketball
exactly
player to come back from the injury that KD did to come back the way that he has, like just like nothing happened? I don't
Only
think
the
so.
greats of the greats have. Like
I think
Kobe. Kobe
Dominique.
off his Achilles was a different player, but he was still as effective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, like
KD.
you look at them, you look at the eye test, nothing really changes. If anything, they got better.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
they're
I
worked.
don't
All they
think
can do, all they're doing for like the last 6 months of their rehab is working out.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a lot of these players are healed 6, 8, 10 months into a year and a half of rehab. So I mean, how better to build your strength and your conditioning than play in the game, and that's exactly what they're doing in the gym. So I mean,
Yeah.
and you look at, I didn't expect Ben Simmons even last year or the beginning of this year to really have his feet underneath him because you look at like other situations like this. I think back to Le'Veon Bell, the year he sat out. When he signed to my Jets, like he wasn't the same player for like a year, and then he got better. He never returned to who he was, but I also think that comes with age and how many carries and touches he
Yeah.
was getting. Ben Simmons is a little different because he's got youth. I think he can become Philly Ben again. I really do. His defense is catching up. His playmaking's there. It's just confidence at the end of the day.
Yep. That's the main thing with basketball. It's who's the most confident on the floor, and that's pretty much where like everything else comes together. Because you can have all the skills in the world, but if you're not confident enough to use them, then you're just gonna be a liability out on the floor. And I know that firsthand because I played with people like that.
Yeah.
At times I was even like that, but it's a combination of coaching, it's a combination of culture.
For sure.
I mean, we all know that the Brooklyn culture has kind of been
Yeah,
but
it ain't the greatest situation right now.
I think having Jacques Vaughn there, kind of like he's kind of like a neutral kind of presence, not in that drama kind of thing. Like we said, they
My
got a
thing is,
dumpster
neither
fire.
was Nash though. Neither was Nash.
I know.
I don't think it's necessarily the coach. I think it's the change in itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A drastic change, like we look at it from the outside and it's like not that huge of a deal. But to these players, it's changing everything on their day to day. You know what I mean? So it really becomes a culture shock when a coach gets fired, even if you downgrade, which I think they probably did. You look at Jacques Vaughn's career as a coach.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'd be interesting to see how it plays out, but he's not going to have anything short of a million boos. I mean, obviously the Philadelphia crowd has zero remorse.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So yeah, I mean, it's going to be. I wish I could be there because I'd honestly join in on it too.
Dude, we should
If
have
I
got
was
tickets
there.
to this game. We shoulda got tickets to
Just
this
for
game.
the sole factor of like going to that Eagles game, like the fans are just nuts.
Yeah.
And the energy is just so contagious.
I don't
Like,
think
why
the
not?
Sixers.
Like,
I don't
I
think the
get it. This guy's
Sixers.
done good things for the Sixers, and even in Carson Wentz's
Yeah.
case with the Eagles, he's done good things. But they've also done bad things. So why not? Why not boo?
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
Let
I
him
feel
know.
for me, it's like I'm very big on applause and appreciation before the game, and as soon as the tip or the coin flip or whatever, boo your freaking heart out. Mm-hmm. You know
Except
what I
if
mean?
it was like a Ben Simmons, Carson Wentz thing. Like Doug Peterson and some of the other Philly greats that have come through on different teams are different, like Malcolm Jenkins. Completely different. But those guys, I mean, things went super duper south.
Yeah.
Those things kind of outweigh the good things that they did for these Philly teams. So
For sure, especially when it wasn't like the things that they did great for the teams weren't that big. You know what I mean?
right.
Like Ben Simmons, cool, he's made playoff runs, but like, what does it matter at the end of the day without a ring? Same thing with Carson Wentz.
Right. I mean, Carson Wentz has a ring, but
Doesn't count.
because he led the postseason run, but
he wasn't there.
He was on the team.
Hmm?
But even after that injury, he just wasn't the same player and isn't the same player. And now look at Washington. He just lost his third starting job in 3 years.
Yeah.
To Taylor Heineke.
Yeah.
The Zin God.
I
still cannot believe we fucking dropped one to Mr. Zin on Monday night. I still can't believe that. It's all good.
But yeah, back to Ben Simmons. I think tonight they need to make it an effort to get him involved early. I think they need to strap up on defense, even though they're not playing a strong offensive team. Because if they can get him some early runs in transition, I think it will set him up to have a pretty good game in Philly. And I honestly think, like, because it's your starters aren't out there for Philly, why wouldn't I feel like if Ben started having a good game, I feel like Philly could cheer him on. You know what I mean? Just because like the stakes aren't as big because the Sixers starting lineup isn't in. I feel like that would be something to see. I'd like to see that actually, but you never know. You never know with Philly fans.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good game for sure. Tip off is about what do we say, 5 minutes away, roughly, something like that.
Yep.
So that'll be fun.
Yeah, I've got the game pulled up, so I'll give you any updates if I see him do anything while I'm just glancing over.
Okay.
But what else? No, I think that's everything I have on Ben Simmons. But no,
that's everything for Ben Simmons. I mean, the other NBA thing, it's kind of crazy. The Sacramento Kings are the number 1 ranked offense in the NBA
of all time.
Of all time, too.
Their offensive rating all time is the highest right now. That'll come back down to earth. But
they're just playing so sound offensive basketball right now. It is insane.
It's definitely a good time to be a Kings fan for sure. Like this is arguably the best team they've had since Peja Stojakovic and them boys. You know what I'm saying? So like,
ring the bell, ring the cowbell, baby.
I'm much lower on De'Aaron Fox than most people, but I mean Keegan Murray looks to be really, really good. He's rookie ups and downs. It's going to happen. Harrison Barnes is a great piece to have for a playoff run. The Sabonis pairing's working out. Like, I mean, they've got a lot to be happy about over there. Plus, Davion Mitchell, off night, having a solid season. So there's a lot to be excited for if you're a Kings fan, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. They got a good balance of offense, defense on that team. They're looking like a playoff contender. Not a contender for like the West, but they're looking like a playoff contender. You know what I mean? For like the 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, the West standings are really wacky right now. Like, I definitely think Sacramento I would be surprised if they fell all the way down to 8, 9, 10. I really wouldn't be surprised if some of these other teams start winning, like Golden State and the Lakers are on a 3-game win streak without LeBron,
Yeah.
which is another crazy thing. Russ and AD are playing unbelievable. But
Well, that's the thing with a team like the Lakers. You got 3 ball dominant guys who are, we can argue, all 3 are over the hill. Maybe not AD as much as LeBron and Russ.
yeah.
But when you got guys who command the ball to kind of like get their game going,
Uh-huh.
it's gonna be tough to win games. So I think like the 1 ball dominant player and the 2 kind of ball dominant player, you can put a formula of success around those guys.
Yeah.
But when you put 3 in there and then you got like DoorDash drivers like Matt Ryan, around them, like you're not going to get anything done.
For sure. Yeah. All right. What do you think? 1 word for your favorite player?
Yeah.
What do you think? Start with NFL?
This segment, my fellow co-host here, my fellow brethren, put this John together. He's got 20 NBA players, 20 NFL players. Gonna say a player. We're gonna describe it in 1 word.
Okay, we'll start with the NFL.
He knows the list. I don't. I'm going off the hip.
Yep.
He made the list, so he knows exactly what he's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
So I might sound crazy with some of mine, but it's cool. It's cool. It's cool for the content.
Okay. We'll start with the NFL, then we'll go to the NBA.
Fair.
First name, Dak Prescott.
Fraud. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
I'm talking about overall. We've seen Dak Prescott win games, put up amazing numbers in the regular season. But when it comes to around this time of year, December, January, the postseason, he's on the side of a milk carton that says missing. Can you find Dak Prescott? If so, contact Jerry Jones and the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people out there that want to say, like, he is a top 5, top 10 quarterback.
Top 10.
I want to paint, like, just because of the Dallas brand, that he's like such a great quarterback. Like, he's so much better. He's on the Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts
People
level.
aren't saying that. People are not saying that. They're saying he's top 10. Stop it. Stop with your Philly bias.
Listen, there are fans out there that, maybe they don't think that level, but they do think that he's like one of the upper echelon quarterbacks in the league. And I get it as far as stats go, maybe. But when you have to win a game, I don't believe in Dak Prescott to go and win you a game of magnitude, like a playoff game, or, if their backs are against the wall, they got to win a game to clinch the division or clinch a wild card spot. I don't know if he can get it done in those high pressure situations. And until I see him get it done, then I'm going to continue to say that he is a fraud.
That's fair. My whole thing, like with Dak, I agree with you, but like for me, it's like there's only like 6 or 7 quarterbacks in the NFL right now that you can say they can go and win you a game. And he's just outside of that top 6, top 7, around 8, 9, 10 in the rankings. That's how I look at it. But my 1 word for Dak is mobility. And not because he is mobile, it's because I feel like he needs to be more mobile. Because you think back in the early in his career, he was running the ball for a decent amount of yardage, and it was really extending plays for that team. And if he couples that with the run game, working off the play action, I think he could become even better.
That's fair. Yeah, because, I mean, even with the ankle injury, we've seen a lot less of like his explosive athleticism that we've seen in the past that makes him like one of the better dual threat quarterbacks in the league. But yeah, I mean we see it with the Eagles with Jalen Hurts literally put the game on his back, running the ball,
Mhm.
got them the win. He did, he did throw, but he also ran, and that's
Yeah,
the good thing about a dual threat quarterback because you can have both and have
yeah.
success. I
For me,
think
it's not so much like a runner like that. It's more like what Aaron Rodgers used to do, where it's like
getting outside of the pocket
to
and
extend the
right.
plays and get a 3rd and 5 with your legs, things like that. Not so much like quarterback design stuff. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, no, I don't
Mhm.
mean that either because
Yeah, yeah,
there's been scrambles, Jalen Lamar, Tua even,
yeah. Hmm.
but they just scramble for yards. So even
Yeah.
that really just I agree. Look, if he played that way, I would have to put Dallas as a legit contender. If Dak
Hmm.
Prescott not only throwing the ball but was as much of a weapon as throwing it as he is running it.
Yeah.
Oof,
Especially, yeah,
that's a
because
tough
we've
team to
seen it
stop.
before. He can do it. I
Yeah,
don't think he's necessarily lost speed. I just think he's probably lost the confidence in his running.
probably.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Okay,
the injuries change that for people.
for sure.
All right.
Next name, Geno Smith.
I know where you're gonna go with this. This is gonna be like a rant for depressed Jets fan for like 5 minutes. Um, I'll say I gotta say rejuvenated. I mean,
Oh, okay.
I mean, this is a guy who's been a journeyman backup for all of his career. He was a second round pick of the Jets in 2013, 2012, 2013, 2013 it was, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, with high expectations, this is the quarterback that's going to lead the Jets to success for the first time since, Mark Sanchez and Tomlinson and them boys. And it didn't happen. He failed miserably
Hmm.
and,
Labeled a bust.
he was a bust. Was around the league as a backup. But pretty much like, you know, a year or two ago, it was like, oh yeah, remember Geno Smith, that quarterback that was a bust in New York, and now we don't really hear anything about him anymore. He's pretty much like out of the league. And then he comes back this year, and granted, Seattle is not as talented as some of these other teams, but they've been playing hard, and he's been a big part of that. Between him and Lockett and Kenneth Walker, the rise of Kenneth Walker as a rookie, and their defense playing scrappy. Pete Carroll knows how to put a system together. I believe Geno Smith is a system quarterback. I'm not
For
saying
sure.
like he's like Himothy, but
Hmm.
give him the right system, it'll rejuvenate his career, and that's what we've seen this year for Geno Smith. I mean, it's crazy to think, but as of this point, I mean, he's at at very least a top 10 quarterback in the NFC, top 5 maybe. He could be in the running for like a Pro Bowl spot based on how he's been playing in comparison to some of these other quarterbacks.
I just want to check you real quick.
All right, dude,
Is
just
he
check
better
me
than
real quick.
Dak?
I'm just
Is he
saying.
is he better than Dak? No. Stop.
No,
Jalen Hurts.
absolutely not.
Tom Brady.
Uh, career wise, no.
Right
This
now,
year,
no.
right now, I have to give
Who
it
are you?
slightly to Tom Brady, but they're about on the same level.
Yeah, yeah. I'll give you. Okay. Aaron Rodgers.
Same thing.
Kyler Murray.
I think he's playing better than Kyler.
Okay. I'll give you that one. Jimmy G.
Jimmy G.
Kirk.
Kirk.
That's 6. He's 7th in the NFC.
Yeah, I said he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFC.
Mhm.
I said maybe
My
top
word
5
is
just in case.
liar.
Huh?
My word is liar. He's
All
not
right,
good
all
at
right, depressed
football.
Jets fan. You go.
He's
You got the
not good
floor.
at football, dude.
It's your
He's not a
turn.
good football player, okay? He's not good. This isn't going to turn into some Cincinnati making a run last year. Joe Burrow's the shit. He's not a good quarterback, and next year we're going to see it. Okay? I promise. I promise. That's all I have to say.
Wow, that's it? I thought you were
That's
going to
it.
go longer.
No, that's it. That's
Okay.
it. I'm just talking with my chest. That's it.
Okay.
He's no good, and we'll find out soon.
Okay. All right.
All right. Enough of that nonsense. Russell Wilson.
Washed.
That's my word too.
I don't really like the film speaks for itself. The record speaks for itself. I'm so glad that the Eagles did not like seriously pursue this man in the off season. I know there was rumors of like him, Deshaun Watson, and other quarterbacks. I can't remember, Jimmy G maybe. I'm so glad this guy absolutely fleeced the Denver Broncos of $250 million over the next 5 years to play like this. That is insane. He's definitely not what he used to be. And I mean, it's apparent that it could be the reason why like the last like 2 years the Seattle Seahawks fell off.
Yeah, it's possible.
And this is
I mean, we'll never know for certain, but
it's a guy who we all thought was like top 5. He's known for putting the team on his back, putting up insane numbers, winning clutch games. But we just haven't seen that this year. And I mean, it's not like he has a terrible team around him. Like
no,
his
got
offensive line isn't
fucking.
Bad. His receivers are solid, super solid. The running back situation's been kind of like iffy because their starter got hurt.
Out the season.
Melvin Gordon just got cut. Now they're at Latavius Murray, who's not bad.
No.
But yeah, I mean, Russell Wilson is looking washed.
Yeah, I have the same exact word. And I feel like at the beginning of the year we were all putting it on the coach, and it's just like he's not even giving the coach the chance to make a mistake in a close game because there are none, except for this last week. They're not. Every game they watch, even if I watch like with them, even if it's a 3-point game, the other team has all the momentum. Russell Wilson has done nothing to lead his team to wins. It's been all the defense. And they're that bad. I saw a stat. If Denver scored 18 points in every game they've played this season, exactly 18, they'd be 9-1.
Wow.
That's how good their defense is.
That just goes to show you. I mean,
yeah.
There's a coaching aspect of that too. I mean,
sure.
We've seen Nathaniel Hackett with some very, very questionable calls in certain situations, but you would think of Russell Wilson as a player who can kind of like mask that with his talent. But if anything, he's been like, what's the word? Enhancing it.
Yeah, he's been enhancing the problem. For sure. Is what it is.
Yeah. Father Time always wins.
Justin Fields.
When I think of Justin Fields, I think of potential. This guy has all the tools to be a Jalen Hurts-esque quarterback. And we've seen his running this year, kind of elevate him and kind of put his trajectory upwards. And you look at his game, obviously, hell of a runner. Absolute beast of a runner. You look at his passing mechanics, and it's all the same things, really, that when Jalen Hurts first came into the league that he was, like, really raw on.
Yeah.
You look at those aspects, and it's like, okay, he needs to work on this. And if he can be an adequate passer, and have good anticipation and timing with his receivers, and also be able to run the way that he does, he's going to be a top 10 quarterback. I think Chicago kind of blowing everything up and kind of like rebuilding
Yeah.
is going to be a good thing. I really hope that they build around this kid, and I hope he really works on his game, because I
Yes.
really think, like, if you give him like 2 seasons, he's going to be a pretty good quarterback for them.
Yes.
I mean, it's obviously apparent that sometimes he doesn't read the plays right. His accuracy's kind of suspect.
Mhm.
And he's pretty inconsistent with it too. So my thing really is him being more consistent and working on the same things that everybody said that Jalen Hurts had to work on when he was coming up. Still feels like he's coming up, but and if he does that, I mean, we're going to be looking at Justin Fields the same way we're looking at Jalen Hurts right now. So I think
Okay.
he has a lot of potential. You just got to build around him, and he's got to improve his game. And Chicago could be a really scary team in a couple of seasons.
I agree. Like, and what's nice for Justin Fields is, like, I mean, obviously he should feel pressured to get better, but his running ability alone will buy him time in the league to
Yeah.
become a better passer.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up.
Yeah, he's just that elite of a runner that he can get away with that until he improves on his passing, even a little bit.
Yeah. My word was Vic. And I think he's on the same exact path as Vic.
Yeah.
Not a great thrower in the very early part of his career. He's got an arm, for sure.
Yeah.
And he can run the ball like hell. It's just, rounding out the quarterbacking aspect of his game. So, yeah, I like that potential. That's good.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
He really does. And that's the thing. Like I joke around and say he's a great value Jalen Hurts, but really, if he's got raw talent throwing the ball, he's got an arm, and elite running. If he's able to kind of like carve his passing game and improve it, he's going to be a really, really good quarterback.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Kind of like Justin Fields. Kyler Murray.
Can we use the same word more than once?
If you want. If it feels right.
Yeah.
You're going to say fraud?
I was thinking about it, but actually, I'm going to say disappointment.
Yeah.
This is a guy who got a $250 million bag from the Arizona Cardinals. What has he done in like seriously? What has he done to earn a $250 million bag for like 5 years, 6 years, however long the deal is? What huge games? What kind of consistent performances has he been able to put up in order to warrant that kind of bag?
Yeah, that's fair.
The team is subpar. We've seen 2 seasons now where they get off to a super red hot start, and then it all comes crashing down around this time of the year, and they end up either getting bounced out in the wild card or missing the playoffs entirely, or they just suck and they never even have a chance at the playoffs. But everybody wants to say that, Kyler Murray is like one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
No.
It's kind of the same thing with Dak Prescott.
I think Kyler's worse than Dak.
Yeah, it's the same thing with Dak Prescott, except he's worse.
Yeah, Kyler's not running the ball like he did his first couple of years this season either.
Yeah,
He's
when he runs, he's insane.
Yeah.
But Kyler Murray's been a disappointment, especially for the investment that they put into him.
Yeah,
it's a disappointment.
For sure. For me, my one word is baseball. He should go play baseball. That's all.
I have another word.
Call of Duty.
Double XP.
Double XP.
It's Thanksgiving weekend.
Notice how he's been hurt since Warzone dropped. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's gotten paid $250 million by the Arizona Cardinals to play Call of Duty Warzone. I could do that.
I respect it.
Literally.
Work your whole life
bro.
work your whole life at a sport to make $250 million and then just play Call of Duty instead of saying, fuck it, I'm playing this game.
Anybody can do that, bro.
Yeah, dude. All right. Jimmy Garoppolo. I've got some non-quarterbacks on here, by the way. I have them sprinkled around, but it's mostly quarterbacks.
I get it.
Just the NFL, it's like...
Underrated.
That's my word.
Really? Look at the connection, bro. Look at the connection. See, this is a quarterback that you talk about. He's not really flashy in the stat sheet or the highlight reel plays, but he's such a fantastic game manager. And with the team that he has around him, he doesn't need to do anything flashy.
Yeah.
He just does his job. They score points and they win football games. And that is so underrated.
Yeah, like people,
because it's all about who puts up the big highlights, who puts up the monster numbers, who's putting the team on their back. When nobody's really worried about, all right, did he lead his team to a win? Did he manage the game properly? Because it's a boring thing. Jimmy Garoppolo's game is boring, but it's underrated. Yes. It's really, really good. And he can lead a team to a Super Bowl. We've seen it in the past. He almost did it last year with this team. And this year, he could possibly do it again.
Especially with the NFC being wide open.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, you got the Eagles, 49ers, Vikings. Other than that, Dallas. For me, it kind of drops. Dallas, nah. They're going to fall apart in the playoffs. They for 30 years, bro. But, yeah, I mean, his game is very underrated.
Yes.
And he's got a perfect system around them. Kyle Shanahan's offense. I mean, he's been there since 2017. He can get it done, and he's a very underrated player in the league.
Yes, that's my same word. It's very apparent that he was Tom Brady's backup.
Yeah,
the greatest game manager in any sport in history, Tom Brady. Like, that's how Tom Brady's game is. There's nothing flashy about Tom Brady's game. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's true. And Jimmy Garoppolo is, people are all saying, "Oh, Mac Jones is the baby Tom Brady." No, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Jimmy Garoppolo's the OG for the real ones that remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is the OG.
Yeah, it's very apparent that he was Tom Brady's backup.
Yeah, wasn't no Mac Jones, bro. Get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Next player, Aaron Donald.
See, this is interesting because I honestly haven't watched a lot of Rams games.
Can I say mine?
You can say yours because I don't really know, honestly.
GOAT.
I
think he's the greatest defensive player we've ever seen.
There's a case.
Because here's how I look at it, and we'll get into the NBA, but it's my same reason for LeBron being the greatest basketball player of all time. The talent they're playing against now is 100 times more skilled than it was back then. You know what I mean? You think about people in the league now. Let's think about a fringe top 10 receiver, Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper would be a top 3 wide receiver in any other era of football. It just shows the talent is so much better. The bottom of the league has never been better in any of these sports. And I think, you know what I mean? He's doing this against some of the greatest linemen in history. You know what I mean? And he's got the accolades to back it up. He's got the Super Bowl. He's got everything, and he's still young. You know what I mean? He's only 30. He's got at least 4 prime years left. This year is a bad example of it, I think, because they don't really have another guy that can take a little bit of pressure off him. He's getting doubled more than he has in his entire career this season, and that's saying a lot because he's usually doubled like 60% of the time.
Yeah.
But no, I think Aaron Donald's the greatest defensive player to ever touch a floor. Better than Ed Reed, better than Ray Lewis, better than Lawrence Taylor,
Reggie White,
Deion Sanders,
Jerome
like
Brown.
better than all of them.
Wow. I'll say great as far as like he is a great like in his career. He's going to be a Hall of Famer when his career's over.
First ballot.
Yeah. He's going to be a great at the game that we talk about in the future. I'm trying to do these based on like this season and what I've seen.
Sure.
I haven't seen a lot from Aaron Donald, so I couldn't think of that, but I like your GOAT word. I don't know if he has a case for GOAT defense.
He's the GOAT defensive tackle.
Yeah.
No doubt. I don't think it's close.
But he's definitely a great in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be somebody that, a lot of young players coming up in the D tackle spot, they're going to be emulating their game after Aaron Donald. And they're going to be watching all of his film and everything that he does.
Yeah. There are no, since Aaron Donald, there's not going to be, in the next couple of years, there's not going to be any fat offensive tackles anymore. It's all going to be guys that can bench 600 pounds, you know what I mean? Like Aaron Donald. Like, it's all going to, you know what I'm saying?
They're all going to lift with Dwayne The Rock Johnson.
Yeah. They're going to be the best athletes on the field at some point because that's what Aaron Donald's doing.
Big fucking biceps. Yeah. They're going to be lifting weights. Like,
yeah. Ah! To me, he's still a top. To me, that's
going to be the future of D tackles in the league.
Yeah. To me, he's still a top 3 player in the NFL, and he ain't 3. So, All right. Micah Parsons.
Electric.
I like that.
His game is absolutely electric. He's an explosive player. Probably one of, if not the best defensive players this season. He's absolutely shining on that Dallas defense, who has been very stout this year. He's one of them guys. I don't have much to say about Micah Parsons. He's just one of them dudes.
I agree. For me, it's kind of multiple words, but Swiss Army knife. He is. I know. I know.
Hey, Chuck. You said one word. That's 3. 2 words.
Well, I was trying to break it down.
Steve Nash on TNT. That's 8 words, Chuck. Yeah, 8 words, Chuck.
I didn't have one word to really break it down. Like, for me, I feel like he's the only player in the NFL right now that can get it done, like, in every aspect of defense. Yeah. Rush the passer, run defense, coverage. Like, he can do everything.
Right.
And I don't think there's anyone else that is close to being able to do that.
Yeah, no, I agree. Could you imagine if he was on this Eagles defense? Holy cow.
It's not a conversation about the Eagles.
Just imagine. They had a chance to get him, too. Just imagine. I think about
like 11 teams had a chance to get him, I think.
I think about these things sometimes, bro. It's just crazy.
Mm-hmm. Like, what would have happened if we took Josh Allen over Sam Darnold?
That would have been nuts.
Well, no, I wouldn't have liked it because Josh Allen's too inconsistent. Anyways, TJ Watt.
Availability. It's my word.
Okay.
When available, he's a very good player, and he's been very electric for the Steelers defense. He's pretty much their defense. Him and Minkah Fitzpatrick. But his issue lately has been availability, and being injured doesn't help. If he can be available, if he can stay healthy, and be available for his team, they'd be so much better.
Mm-hmm. For sure. My word is alpha, And the reason why I say alpha is because I think he has the chance to be the best Watt in the family.
Yeah,
I think he could go down as better than J.J. Watt. And I feel like J.J. Watt, his career is slept on. Slept on. People don't understand the shit that J.J. Watt was doing.
That's
who's
facts.
watching
Who's that guy?
Houston Texans games? You know what I mean?
Well, it's because he's a part of the Houston Texans, and they're kind of like a laughing
Mhm.
stock franchise in their history.
But J.J. Watt's one of the best defensive players of the last 20 years.
Yeah.
For sure.
They always say that the younger one is the most talented, so.
Okay. Jalen Hurts.
MVP. Do we even have to talk about this, bro? He's the MVP.
Not the MVP.
He is the MVP.
No.
He has taken a huge... I'm going to talk about Jalen Hurts for a minute.
God.
Bro, listen. When you think of Jalen Hurts, this is a guy who came in for Carson Wentz, took the job. He had to take over an entire locker room, win the guys over, win the front office over. And with all the scrutiny, all of the doubters, he's heard every word of it. He's worked on his game, kept his head down. He's the most level-headed quarterback in the league. One of, if not the most, that I've ever seen play. I mean, this guy is just stone cold. Just like he runs in for the game winner on Sunday, and this is his face is just. He's over there on the bench. They just stopped the Colts to win the game, and he's like, "Are you kidding? This guy has ice in his veins." His game has improved so much from last year. You know, the timing, anticipation, the throwing has improved so much, and his superstar talent, which is running the football, always shines when it needs to. I mean, this is probably the best dual threat quarterback in the league right now. And he is leading his team on an amazing run this year. This is a guy who is going to get a bag either next year or the year after that. But the more Howie waits, the more the money's going to be.
For sure.
But yeah, I think of Jalen Hurts, I think MVP, because that's how he's playing this year.
Okay.
And even the games that the game that they lost, and even games where they've been close, he hasn't been the reason why they've been looking bad or the reason why they lost.
Yeah. True.
He's always been on his A game, even if they can't get anything going. He's calm, level-headed, and gets the job done.
Yeah.
And I guess if I had to put another word in there, it'd be clutch, because he's stone cold in high pressure situations, and he got ice in them veins, bro.
True.
Jalen Hurts or Kobe, I can't tell the difference.
Stop.
I can't tell the difference, bro. This guy's Mamba mentality.
I can.
It's apparent.
I can tell the difference.
It's apparent.
I can tell the difference.
This is a guy who, in the huddle for that game-winning drive, was loose as a goose. He was joking with A.J. Brown, stone-faced, hears all the noise, doesn't give a shit, and he's still going to get the job done.
You're done now.
I'm done.
You said it was my turn.
It's not your turn yet.
This is big for me, okay? And I will let you we don't need to spend much time on it, but I'll give you some happiness. My word is top 5. I think he's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL.
It's true.
I feel like I've
saying
seen
it all year. Everybody wants to call me crazy. He's a top
I'm not just
5.
saying he's having a top 5 year. I think he is a top 5.
Let's go back to the beginning of the year when
let's move on. That's enough.
I'm just saying, before we move on, I just want to say, listen, we talked about this at the beginning of the year. Before we even started this pod, I told you that he was going to be, by the end of the year, in the top 10, maybe even top 5 conversation with the way he's going to play this year. I rest my case.
I respect it.
Y'all sleep.
I respect
Wake
it.
the fuck up. Y'all
I
sleep.
respect it. I respect it. Okay. Enough of that.
I'm done.
Nick Chubb.
Chubby.
My word is best.
Uh,
He's the best. He's the best running back in football, and I
beast
don't
is
think it's
my
close.
word. He's an
Beast?
absolute beast running the ball. This is a guy who squats freaking Mack trucks. Explosive runner. Doesn't go down. Keeps the legs churning. One of, if not the best running backs in the league. He's an absolute beast.
You think it's a conversation? I think my word is best. I think he's the best running back in football, and I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close. Because there are things that he does elite that other runners can't. Like his ability to not break tackles, evade tackles. Like not even let a defender get a hand on him. Derrick Henry can't do that. The ability to run people over. Saquon can't do that. Like I think he's unbelievable. I don't think there's a weakness in his game. He doesn't get many targets because Kareem Hunt's the essential receiving back on that team, and as he should be. But like, no,
Yeah.
there's no hole in Nick Chubb's game, and he's the best.
I agree.
Okay. Justin Jefferson.
Gritty, obviously. You think of the gritty. An amazing player, top 5 wide receiver for sure in the league.
Yep.
One of the best. I mean, you even think about that catch against Buffalo, or not even. I mean, he made a defensive play on the ball. He had his hand in there. The Bills player had an interception, and he just yanked it from him.
Yep.
He's an electrifying player, Randy Moss-esque. It's always good when he comes to Philly week 2 and Darius Slay only gives up like 20 yards and 2 targets or something like that, and it was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
But he's definitely an electrifying player. Demands a lot of respect out of defenses.
Mm-hmm.
It's apparent why, but I mean, signature gritty, man. You think of Justin Jefferson, that's what you think of.
Yeah. I put him on here simply because, like, and I feel like this is a hot topic. It might be a little bit early, but my word's Randy Moss. I think he has the ability to be in that category when it's all said and done. I don't like. It's kind of like Nick Chubb for me. Like his quick start that he had in his career. Like not a lot of receivers start off like he did. I think for him, it's really going to come down to who his quarterback is and what his health is throughout the rest of his career.
Yeah,
I think we'll be talking about him as a top 5 receiver of all time when it's all said and done. I really do.
Yeah, mm-hmm. I agree.
Yep. And then I have another reason I put another receiver on here, but Tyreek Hill.
Fast.
Speed.
He has wheels.
Mm-hmm.
And he's also super, super confident. I mean, again, one of the best receivers in the game. This is a guy that commands a lot of respect from defenses for his, breaking the top off speed, big playability, his ability to create something out of nothing. I mean, you have to game plan. You gotta trail him. Got to have a trailer on him at all times.
Mm-hmm.
He's just that good, and he's fast.
Super
fast, like 23 miles an hour fast.
Yeah,
which is unreal for a human.
yeah. Like, there's stats out there like, Tyreek Hill at his fastest in the NFL would bronze in Usain Bolt's record 100-meter dash. He would bronze medal. And that's while tracking a football in the air.
That's wild.
So, like,
imagine if he wasn't tracking a football, he was just fucking
exactly.
running.
Yeah, like that's nuts. But my word, it's a little dark, and like not a lot of people are really talking about this. Mine's a clown. The shit you were hearing him say in the offseason about Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and fucking Tua being the most accurate quarterback in the league, like shit like that. I'm like, bro, what? I
That's
get
cap.
hyping your
The word
guys
for
up.
that is cap.
Yeah, I'm all for hyping your guys up, but like you're talking about like the best quarterback coach combo since, Brady, Belichick. Like I never understood that shit because there was no reasoning behind it and it really rubbed me the wrong way.
I agree.
Dude's great,
Tua,
but
yeah, because Tua is not one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league. And you don't even need to look at the stats for that. You just look at the eye test. Some of his throws and some of his decisions are just like, oh, what the hell are you doing, dude?
yeah. I'm sick here.
All right, what's next? Who's next?
Kirk Cousins.
I'm gonna say unproven.
I like it.
I'll tell you why. For me at least, him winning big time games at the end of the year and in the postseason is unproven as of right now.
Mhm.
He definitely has the talent around him to prove that he can win big games and be a quarterback who can lead you into deep playoff runs, possibly a Super Bowl. But he's been having an amazing season. He's been proving a lot of doubters wrong, winning big games, game after game. This past week against Dallas was to be expected, coming off an emotional win against one of the
Dallas
best teams
coming off an emotional loss. Like that was set up for a blowout. It really was. Like looking back at it, like I know I was sitting here clowning on FanDuel for making that spread, but I mean, like, hey, I told you they know something we don't.
Dallas.
I told you they knew something we didn't. But
yeah,
for real.
Yeah, no, I definitely saw that one coming. I mean, I've seen this book before with the Vikings. Obviously, a little different team, but we've seen them come off of highly emotional wins and be flat the next week. Like you think of the Minneapolis Miracle, high emotion game, walk off overtime win. The next week, NFC Championship game, they go to the Link, flat, they get blown out, put in a pack, 38-7. So that wasn't surprising to me, but over this year, Kirk Cousins and the Vikings have been answering a lot of questions. I just still think being able to consistently do it in the end of the season, the grind out in the playoffs, that's unproven.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd absolutely love to see him prove whether he can or not.
Yeah.
But right now he's unproven.
Yeah. My word's underappreciated, and like
it's a good one.
Mainly because I feel like in today's game, like obviously he's not like Dan Marino or anything like that, but like back in the day, people used to appreciate quarterbacks even if they couldn't get it done. You know what I mean? And that's players in all sports. Like you look at Chris Paul in the NBA. Or like Russ or shit like that. People are always like, well, he hasn't won anything. Which is true, but it's like, you know what I mean? You look at the numbers with Kirk and it's like, wow, this guy's really putting together like a really, really good career. And like, especially in a lot of these sports where like the average lifespan of your career is like 2.5 years, which is crazy to think about. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like people don't appreciate some of these guys. You know what I mean? Like, I like to sit there and watch Kirk ball because when he's at his best, he can fuck with anybody. And there's a lot of quarterbacks like that in the NFL. It's like it really is true that the best of the best win games, win Super Bowls, whether it's the best of the best quarterbacks, best of the best running backs, best of the best defenses, best of the best coaches. You know what I'm saying? Or even like best of the best mentality. Shit like that wins championships. And you know what I mean? And teams that Kirk has been on, he's not going to be the best of the best quarterback. Maybe he's got the best of the best receiver, and that's enough to help get him over the hump this year. But like, I feel like that about a lot of players around, all aspects of sports. It's like we don't give enough guys credit for who they are. You know what I mean? It's always taking a jump, take a jump. Like,
Yeah,
there aren't going to be 30 Patrick Mahomes in a league. It's not going to happen.
it's true.
You know what I mean? And you look, and especially as a Jets fan, like, I'd fucking trade 2 first-round picks for Kirk because I want a competent team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's obviously an exaggeration, but like, that's my word for Kirk. Underappreciated.
It's a good one.
Yeah. All right, we're getting into the nitty-gritty in NFL here. We got 5 names left.
All right.
Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh. I'm gonna say lonely. I'm gonna
That's
tell you
so
why.
good. That's so adorable.
He's lonely.
He
Bro
is. He needs
has
a friend.
no help.
No friends.
He has no receivers, no friends, no tight ends.
Mm-hmm.
He's lonely. All he has is
Yeah.
Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon and
No
some
lie.
rookies.
Hmm.
He got a bag from the Packers this past season, and I mean, you look at the roster. It's him and a bunch of traffic cones that he's throwing to.
Yeah.
He's got no help around them to like make anything happen as far as like offense goes. The defense is like okay.
Average. It's
not,
average.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not really good, but it's okay. When you got a team like that with no help and your franchise quarterback, it's all on him to kind of carry it. I mean, we've seen that the Packers have been kind of a disappointment this year. And this is a guy who needs friends. He needs help. Go get him some friends. OBJ is out there. Listen, imagine if he had a friend like Odell Beckham.
I'd like to have Odell as a friend.
I know, right? Who wouldn't? It's a guy who's a man of the culture, great hands, a guy that a defense would have to respect.
Yeah.
Go get him a friend. He was even jabbing at him on social media like, hey, Odell, wouldn't it be cool to throw to you, pal? Yeah.
Poking the bear.
He's poking the bear. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers is lonely over there in Green Bay right now.
I agree. Yep. And like, it's the truth. Like, there's 2 people in like sports history that can get it done alone. Tom Brady and LeBron James. And even LeBron needed a little bit of help. Even Brady needed a little bit of help. There's really only 2 people that can get it done on their own. Those are the only 2. You know what I mean? There are people need help. It's the truth. You know what I mean?
I don't think I've seen anybody else take a team with absolutely nothing as far as I saw LeBron take the Cavs in 2018.
Yeah.
Just that shit does not happen.
Yeah, like, and even like people will argue guys like I'm trying to think of a I don't know, I can't think about it right now. Like Dame to the conference finals a couple years ago. Like, he had Nurkic playing at the top of his game and CJ playing at the top of his game. Like, you know what I mean? Everyone's got at least a little bit of help. Rodgers has nothing. Christian Watson's been playing good when he's not dropping every other target. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Burrow.
You go first. I don't really know.
My word is sleep. People are sleeping on Cincy right now. You know what I mean? I feel like the AFC is better this year than it has been, but like there's something to be said about their run last year, and it's kind of shaping up to be the same fucking thing. It
Yeah.
really is. I mean, I feel like the Chiefs are playing better and they're hungrier this year, but I feel like Buffalo is a little worse this year because of how inconsistent they've been. Von Miller's great for them, but I mean, like, what does it fucking matter when your quarterback's turning the ball over left and right? Yeah, my word sleep. Not too much really to go into that, but again, it's the second year in a row where it's like, okay, you know what I mean? We've seen this guy. This guy is a proven winner. You know what I mean? Like, I like Joe Burrow against most AFC quarterbacks not named Patrick Mahomes. So we'll see.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have to go underrated.
Okay, that's interesting.
I mean, the Bengals are kind of underrated right now as a team.
Yeah.
So he goes under the radar. I mean, they don't really have Jamar Chase. Still waiting on him to get back off of IR. But it's an underrated team. He's an
Yeah, and
underrated.
like I'll even help prove your point a little bit. Like he's getting it done like with Tyler Boyd playing like shit, and he's giving the ball to Samaje Perine? Who?
Yeah.
Like, and they're winning games handedly.
Yeah.
So, and the defense is like, I feel like their defense is a little slept on too, because they just don't have guys. You know what I mean? They're just a solid unit that plays good. So,
yeah, that's all you can ask
yeah,
for.
I like that. Underrated. It's pretty good. All right, last three, and then I have a bonus name for the NFL. Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
Yeah.
Inconsistent. It's apparent. We've seen when he's on, he's on. He is good. But when he is not on, he is not on, and he is not good.
Yep.
He hasn't been good lately. He started off the year red hot, fantastic, looked like a clear MVP favorite.
Mm-hmm.
That has since kind of subsided.
Yes.
It's kind of fallen off. He's a good player. He's a really good player.
Yeah.
But he's so inconsistent.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't know what you're going to get from him each week.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
Oh fuck! I had a word in mind and I lost it. Let me think for a second here. What was it? Shit. Oh, I'm gonna, instead of comparing him to a one word, I'm gonna compare him to a name. Mike Tyson. Dude throws a hell of a haymaker when he's on, but when one little thing in his game isn't working, he's got no jab. Like he doesn't take the easy throw. It's always big swings. Like Mike Tyson. And sometimes that got Mike Tyson beat. And guess what it does to Josh Allen? Gets his ass beat. So yeah, that's my comparison for Josh Allen. All right. Patrick Mahomes.
Him.
That's
he is him. This dude has a B tier cast of wide receivers around him. Yet he is putting up numbers, winning games every week, just playing lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Jalen Hurts are the clear MVP favorites.
No, it's him, and that's it.
Objectively, he's number one. Jalen Hurts number two.
I like it.
He's playing absolutely insane. And the Chiefs are the best team in the AFC. Arguably best team in football. There's a case to be made for some other teams, but they're in that conversation. They're a Super Bowl contender. He's got the experience. He's also Pat Mahomes. He's also Kermit the Frog. He's him.
Why are there so many songs about rainbows? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's my word. That's what I've written down. Him. You look at this last game against the Chargers, like 20 of 34 completion, 329, 3 tuds, 120 quarterback rating.
Yeah.
And that's considered a normal game for him. It's ridiculous. Like, and you know, like, I think it's amazing. Like, I mean, we say he has B tier help, and I feel like a lot of people exclude Travis Kelce from that a little bit because he's not considered a wide receiver, obviously.
Yeah.
People don't be like giving tight ends a lot of love when it comes to like, skill position offense players. Dude had 6 catches, 115 yards, 3 tuds. Like, the dude is unbelievable. To me, I feel like we have 3 GOATs at their position playing all at the same time. We have Tom Brady at quarterback. We have Aaron Donald at D tackle and Travis Kelce at tight end.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and but like back to Patrick Mahomes, it's just like it's crazy that it's like teams have to be like every single game, don't score until the very end. Like, do not put your team up 6 with any more than 20 seconds left because Patrick Mahomes will win the game.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
His win percentage.
He should be drug tested immediately.
The average win percentage in NFL history for a quarterback being down by 10 in the second half is like 13%. Patrick Mahomes' winning percentage being down 10 in the second half is like 65%.
That's fucking bonkers, dude. It makes no sense.
Like, there will never be there is not a quarterback in the league where you can comfortably say, oh, we're down 24-0 like we were against the Texans in that playoff run. I think we could still win the game. I remember that game. You remember that game? They were down 24-0 or whatever. It was like a big game for was it Clyde? Clyde's year 1, I think it was.
I don't remember. I remember
whatever.
the game.
He had like some running back had like 3 tuds for them that game, like receiving. They were down 24-0. I was at my grandmother's house, and my grandmother goes, "Wow, this game's over. Turn it off." I said, "No, the Chiefs are going to win this game." 24-0. I remember it like it was yesterday because they won.
Grandma was wrong.
Yeah, Grandma. You don't know what you're talking about, Grandma.
Whoa. We love grandmas on this program.
Yeah, we love grandmas. Thanks for the $20 bill on my card. All right. Second to last name, Tom Brady.
GOAT.
Is
there another word that describes him?
Nope.
Greatest player, NFL player of all time.
Arguably greatest athlete of all time.
7 Super Bowls. The accolades speak for themselves. This is a guy who's been playing football longer than we've been alive.
Yes.
Which goes to show it's crazy.
There are players playing in the league right now that were not alive when he was a rookie. Like,
that is unheard of. That is crazy.
Yeah, it was last year. He played against a rookie quarterback. I forget who it was, and he was born like a year after Tom Brady made his debut. Like, I forget who it was. But yeah, that shit's crazy. And I feel like when we look at accolades and shit like that across all sports, I'll say it again, like, we don't take appearances in Super Bowls and shit like that, or like NBA finals and stuff like that. We don't consider that stuff. Like, the dude's been to the Super Bowl at a higher percentage than Steph Curry hits a 3-pointer.
That's crazy.
It's nuts. So, like,
you can bet you have a better likelihood of Tom Brady making a Super Bowl. Would you bet $1,000 on Tom Brady making a Super Bowl, or Steph Curry
hitting a 3
right next to you and hitting a 3?
Just hitting one. Yeah.
Just one. The odds are better if Tom Brady makes a Super Bowl. That is just insane, dude.
Yes.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. He's not the most talented guy.
No.
He doesn't have the best arm. He doesn't have mobility. But I mean, I still think I think Patrick Mahomes is the most clutch quarterback we've seen probably ever. At least I've seen with my eyes, just because of the shit that he's been able to do. But when you look at like 3 minutes left in a game, down 4, like those maniacal like long drives to win a game, I'll take Tom Brady. If it's anything less than a minute, I'll take Mahomes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and Tom Brady's done it again and again and again, and you know what I mean. You can't count the guy out. My other word out it's obviously GOAT, but my other one is Twilight. It's my other word. I feel like we're really starting to see this year that it's starting to come to an end, talent wise, and I never really hated Brady just because like the Jets were never good enough that I had to root against them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I can appreciate what he's done for the sport, and it'll probably never be done again unless it's done by the guy we mentioned before him.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much to say about him. I mean,
yeah,
he's the best quarterback, best player ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep. My bonus name. And I basically have an announcement with this player, Zach Wilson. My word for Zach Wilson is officially bust. I don't think he's a starter. I don't think he's a career backup. Like, I feel like who back in the day used to be like you give a quarterback 3 years. Now it's like, what have you done for me lately, and what can you do for me going forward?
Yeah.
I feel like we should know who rookie quarterbacks are in their second year by Thanksgiving, and here we are for Zach Wilson, and he's still completing 9 passes in a 10-3 game where the defense gave up 3 points and we lose. Our defense has given up nothing other than 3 points to the Patriots in 2 weeks, and we've lost both games.
You're a quarterback away. I'm going to agree with you. Away. He's a bust.
If we had Kirk, we'd be a Super Bowl contender.
If you had Justin Fields, you'd be a better football team than you are right
Any
now.
Other quarterback in football. I'd rather Baker right now.
Ooh.
I'd rather P.J. Walker than Baker than Zach Wilson. he just can't. And did you see his fucking post-game conference? Did you see his post-game press conference?
Yeah, he said it wasn't on him.
Do you think you let your defense down? No. No? Dog. If the dude was giving you a layup, all you had to do was drop it in the basket, dude.
Literally, through the oop, you just had to catch it and dunk it.
What you just had to. He gave you one there, and you said, "No, I played fine." The fuck? You're the reason we lost. He's the reason we lost.
Yeah.
And like, imagine this defense in Seattle with Geno and how their offense is playing, or Cincy.
Did you just say that you would rather have Geno Smith than Zach Wilson? Is that what I heard? Is that what I heard come out of your mouth?
I would rather have Geno Smith than Zachary Wilson.
Wow. The redemption arc.
No, there's no redemption arc. Geno Smith still sucks. Zach Wilson just sucks worse.
Guys, we live in a simulation.
Zach Wilson sucks worse.
The biggest Geno Smith hater on this program.
It's not hate. It's facts over feelings.
It just stated. It sounds like a lot of feelings to me. The biggest Geno Smith hater on this here program, the Day One podcast, has just said he would rather have him as his starting quarterback over the current starting quarterback that he has on his football team.
Yet, you know why?
Fuck Geno Smith. Fuck Geno Smith.
You know why?
Piece of shit. Fuck you.
You know why?
Why?
It has nothing to do with being on the football field. Because I know at the end of the day, and I've seen it, Geno admits when he sucks.
Yeah.
Geno admits it.
That's true.
I'd rather have Jameis Winston right now. Like,
jeez.
Come on, bro. He's all depressed because he lost his job due to injury. Come over here, bro.
Carson.
You can throw 40 picks on my team. That's fine if you're throwing 40 tubs too.
Carson Wentz.
No. No.
Would you rather
Hard
have
pass.
Zach Wilson or Carson Wentz?
Zach Wilson because the potential. That's it.
You have
That's it.
potential.
Because there's one thing in
You
his
have
game
potential.
that is considered elite, and that's his for Zach Wilson, that's his what is it? What's the term?
Strength.
I guess playmaking is more the word. Like he can make shit out of nothing. But the playbook is literally so easy for him. He cannot execute a simple throw out to the flat. But yet he'll scramble to his left, throw that shit sidearm, and it'll fucking be a dot 40 yards down the field between two defenders or whatever. Fuck Zach Wilson. All right.
Makes no sense.
Let's get into the NBA players. We don't have to spend as much time. But player number 1, Luka Doncic. I feel like the NBA is a little more fun than the NFL.
Yeah. Fundamental is what I think of. His fundamentals are just off the charts. When you watch his game, the eye test when you watch Luka Doncic play basketball in the ISO or post up or whatever, when he's just going to work, just see the fundamentals and they're just so sound. It's so fun to watch him work.
It really is.
He reminds me of Tim Duncan if he was a guard.
Yeah.
He really does.
You know what? You know who else I think he reminds me of, like crossing sports? Brady. Doesn't have the athleticism.
Yeah.
Doesn't have all the things that like Tom Brady doesn't have. I feel like Luka doesn't either. But he knows how to get it done with the skill. Simple as that. My word for Luka is 2K. Because he's literally putting up 2K numbers right now. It's like 36, 9, and 9. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd like to see the Mavericks get more help. Christian Wood has been an amazing pickup for them. Spencer Dinwiddie's been playing solid for them. Dorian Finney-Smith. But I feel like they just need one off-ball star. You know what I mean? And they'd be really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Steph Curry.
I can't say GOAT. I only say that just because of like.
You can if you think he's the best point guard of all time.
He's the best shooter of all time. MVP. He's putting up MVP numbers right now.
Yeah. The team just needs to win more.
Yeah.
He has better stats than his unanimous MVP season.
Yeah. He's putting up Kobe numbers.
Yeah, he is.
At his age.
On shooting percentages that Kobe dreams he had.
Exactly.
Steph Curry is shooting 72% true shooting.
It's wild.
Yeah. My word for Steph, poetry. There's not a better show to watch in the NBA than a Golden State Warriors.
Can I change my word?
To what?
Steffortless. His game is Steffortless.
I like it. I don't think there's a better show in sports than watching a Warriors home game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just the system predicated around him and the off-ball movement and the ball handling, the playmaking, the finishing at the rim, the circus shots, the turning around while that motherfucker just slapped your hand and saying, fuck you, and run it down the court.
That's just insane.
And like you should watch his JJ Redick just put out his podcast. It was Steph's first time on the show today. He was talking about and they're both obviously really good shooters. They're like when you let it go, because you've repped that shot hundreds of thousands of times, you just know when it's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's kind of true because whenever he does that, he doesn't miss. Like it's
Yeah.
very rare that when he turns around during a shot, it's a no.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I mean,
poetry.
Playing basketball myself and being a shooter, I know exactly what they're talking about, because there's been times where, like, I whether it's in games or in scrimmages or just in pickup games or whatever, like, I let it go and I turn around, like, I know that shit's good. Like, it comes off of my hands. I'm like, man, I'm about to do my green animation, baby. Whether I like, bringing the hands down or turning around or, just doing some crazy stuff. But I mean, it's good.
Yeah,
That's
for sure.
that's the thing about being a shooter. I mean, you really hone
You
in,
know.
and you can really grab a hold of the shot and perfect it.
Yeah. For sure. Okay. Giannis.
Freak. He's a freak in
Yeah.
nature. He's the
He's
Greek freak.
mm-hmm.
Like, in his own words, he can be a freak on the court and in the shits. Know
And
what I'm
then the
saying?
shit, you know what I'm saying? I want the 50-piece McNuggies. Not 49, not 51, the 50 chicken minis.
Yeah. Think about this. This guy can. He literally has an offensive game everywhere. He's
Mm-hmm.
super tall, super strong, can get any kind of shot at will. In the fast break, he can go from baseline to baseline in 5 steps. He's a freak.
Yeah.
And that's why he's called the Greek freak.
Yeah. My word for him is wholesome.
He is a wholesome guy.
It's like, you know what I mean? You just came off of a poetic championship run. And you decide, I'm going to take my finals MVP trophy and I'm going to go to Chick-fil-A. Like, there's not a more relatable guy. It's the truth. Like, I don't know. I love Giannis. He's the best player in basketball. I don't feel like it's a debate. I feel like it's one and then a significant drop off. Steph, significant drop off, and then the rest of the league. But like, it's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Before
Kevin
we get into
Durant.
the next
Oh,
guy,
go ahead. Go ahead.
It's halftime.
Yes, it is.
Sixers are leading the Nets 63-57. And Ben Simmons, watch. He's got 9 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, and a block.
And 2 steals.
KD and DeAnthony Melton are leading all scorers with 14.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Go
Yes,
parlay.
that's a solid start for Ben Simmons, and he's 3 for 4 from free throw.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Does Joe Harris have a 3?
No, he's 0 for 4.
Fuck. I need Joe Harris to hit a 3.
I need Tobias, Kyrie, and KD, and only Kyrie has one. Okay, Kevin Durant.
ISO. When I think of KD, I think of isolation. I think of the ISO game. He is one of the best one-on-one players in NBA history.
Mm-hmm.
You would like him when you think of like a team guy in like systems. You like to think of him like as more of a team guy, but he's not really.
Yeah.
Like he's going to get his buckets, and that's it.
Yeah.
As long as he gets his, he's cool. Win, loss, or draw.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But he's a hell of a basketball player. Hella talented. He's probably going to be a Hall of Famer when his career's all said and done.
He is a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
No doubt.
But yeah, he's another guy that he does have some help, but
he doesn't have. It's some nights he has help.
Yeah, it's weird with KD. It's really weird.
Yeah. My word, and it's not fair to Kevin Durant because of how damn good he is, but mine's disappointing. It's just like, I don't know, year after year, like, it's always the next year Nets. You know what I mean? And it's, I don't know. I'd love to see him, like.
Get out of hand. Here, Ben Simmons misses. The crowd started to cheer when he missed. Put it back in and told him to quiet down.
Ben Simmons just shushed the Philly crowd. He got a layup in transition, missed, got his own putback, and then quiet. Unreal.
Anyways, but yeah, for me, it's disappointment with KD because it's like, how awesome would it be to see him go on a run like Giannis did a couple years ago or Steph last year? Like, that would be so awesome. Or Kawhi with the Raptors. Like, I would love to see that for KD. And I feel like his legacy needs it. Because there's always going to be that, well, he couldn't do this. You know what I mean?
Right. He needed to go to the Warriors to win a championship.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. I don't know if he needed to. But, you know what I mean? And that's, glass half full type thinking. But, like, I don't know. Disappointment.
I get it.
Especially because he's, almost 35. So, really, he's running out of time.
Yeah.
LeBron James. Go.
Huh?
Go. Undisputed. Yeah. Go. Bah! Is that the sound that the goats make? Something like that. I can't make that.
Hey, LeBron, noise. What the sound does a goat make?
Bah!
Yeah.
Goat.
This is more than one word. I mean, you can kind of put it in the one word, but my word is Father Time. It is time. It's about time. And I'm not saying this in a good way, because I didn't want to see this being a LeBron fan. Father Time has finally caught up with LeBron.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, he obviously still has like the mental aspect of his game, obviously it's there. And he still has like physicality, but he's this. I mean, you still look at the season, and I feel like it's just a product of like the situation.
Yeah.
That he is not playing as good as he has in years past. I mean, this is the worst statistical year since his rookie year.
Yeah.
And that was 2003. The same damn thing with Tom Brady. There's people playing in the NBA that were not live when LeBron James made his debut. It's insane to think about, like, the longevity of this guy in the NBA to accomplish what he's accomplished. He's definitely the GOAT. One of the Mount Rushmore players of the league, if you don't want to call him the GOAT.
Yeah.
Because it honestly is between him, MJ, and Kobe.
No, it's not.
I think so.
It's MJ, LeBron, slight drop off, Kareem, drop off.
Kobe.
No.
Kobe.
No.
Why are you finna disrespect Kobe like that, bro?
Here's my issue. I love Kobe. I love him. I cried when he passed away.
We all did.
We've seen him before. That's my only thing. We've seen Kobe before, and his name was Michael Jordan. There aren't a better version of LeBron's out there. There aren't a better versions of Steph's out there.
True.
You know what I mean? That's my only thing with Kobe. And I'm not saying he's not top 10. It's just not top 4 or 5 for me. He's right down there to me with Bird, Steph, and Shaq. That's where he is for me.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I just think his mark on the game has been just
For sure, absolutely.
almost
No doubt.
insurmountable.
No doubt.
But yeah, no, as far as LeBron goes, I mean, you look at the situation and the team and the season and how he's been playing.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't seen like any signs of Father Time catching up with him until this year.
Yeah.
He just does not look like himself.
Uh-uh.
So I think
no.
Yeah.
I think he could beat Father Time if he went in this offseason coming up and strictly focused on perimeter dribbling and 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
If he can create, like, he doesn't have to be great at it, like kind of like how Luka does, slow but methodical. Create space on a 3-point line and shoot like 38%. That'll give him another few years of excellent basketball because he doesn't have to rely on punishing people down low to get his numbers, and you know what I mean, to control the game. You can control the game from the perimeter now. We've seen it. So yeah. That's my only thing with LeBron. If he can do that, I don't see why he can't be a top 5 player for another 2 to 4 years.
I agree.
Because I'm sorry, 40-year-old LeBron is not touching the top of the backboard. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to happen. I don't want to see him as a 14-point per game scorer when he plays with his son. I don't want to see that. I want to see like number 2 on a championship level type, like, or even just a number 2 on a team getting 20 points a game, maybe like 10 assists. He could extend his career that way too by playmaking more.
Right.
He's the best passer in basketball. Like, he is. It's LeBron fucking James. He's the best passer in basketball. If he focused more even on that and a little less on scoring once he got the Kareem record, you know what I mean? Kind of like Chris Paul's doing in the twilight of his career.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anthony Davis.
Availability.
Yep.
That's my word. I mean, this is a guy who, again, has been dealing with injuries and has not been available for his team, and it's been very detrimental for the Lakers, obviously. I mean, he's back now, and when he's available, we've seen on this little run that he's gone on without LeBron, that he's a really good. He's a damn good basketball player.
Yeah.
But he has to stay healthy. That's the thing. Anthony Davis is so injury prone. For some reason, I don't know why, but he is.
I think it's his size combined with his game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thing. If he can stay available, the Lakers, he'll give the Lakers a chance to kind of get back in the play-in conversation.
Yeah, they're not out.
No,
they're not out. It's tough right now.
Yeah.
Like, for me, mine is fall off, and not necessarily his entire game. I don't know what happened to his 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Like, ever since the bubble, he can't fucking shoot at all. And like, that's a testament to him that he's putting up like 37 and 18 a night and over the last like 4 games. I don't know if you know that, but he's going insane without shooting the ball, like beyond standard mid-range.
Yeah.
Like, if he could get it back up to like 33, 34%, like it used to be, we're talking about him as potentially being a top 5 player again, like he was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
Or even in that bubble run. So that's my only thing with AD. But I mean, and again, health. I think a lot of his injuries have been nagging shit from his initial one that he had after the bubble. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he really hasn't had the time to get right.
I agree.
Russell Westbrook.
Russell Westbrook. Um, this is more than one word, but odd man out. He's the odd man out in LA. It's apparent. You have three dominant ball handling players. You're not going to make LeBron James take a back seat. It's his team. Anthony Davis is their best big man. He's not going to take a back seat. That leaves Russell Westbrook as the other ball dominant guard who can't shoot. With a bunch of DoorDash drivers to take a back seat.
And quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I don't know how he's able to freaking do that, but I mean, it's just nuts to see the career trajectory. The team's not doing him any justice. Like, it's not like Russell Westbrook's washed. Yeah. This is not the right situation. This is the worst situation for him. Situations are everything.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So I think he's the odd man out in LA.
My word is unfair. Like, yeah. I feel like he's never really gotten a real shot to do something in LA. Like, he's playing really well without LeBron on the court. And, like, that's not a knock on LeBron or Russ. They just don't fit. And I think if he went to one of these teams where they're, barely scratching the surface of a play-in, he could get them to a 5-4 seed because that's what Russ does. I don't feel like his game's really fallen off. It's just he can't do it in this environment. Yeah, so unfair is my word for Russ. I'm going to skip a few because, a lot of time here, and I actually have to run out before 10 o'clock. But,
yeah.
Let's do...
We do a couple more and then go into Turkey Day.
Yeah. Ja. My word, deja vu.
Yeah, that's my word too.
And not in a good way.
No. When we say deja vu, we think 2011 Derrick Rose.
Yes.
This is a guy with freak athleticism. Absolute freak.
And he's a better passer and shooter than Derrick Rose was.
Yes. But the same thing lies. He doesn't know how to contain it.
No.
It's just 100 miles an hour for 48 minutes. Not slowing down. I mean, it makes great highlights, and it's just like, it's nuts to watch.
Yeah.
But, like, dude, you got to let your knees breathe.
And, like, that, and you know what? That's even, like, in a testament to Russ. Because Russ is, like, that same mold, and he's been healthy for his, like, no major injuries in his career. Like, Russ has been an Iron Man for what the fuck he does on the court. And I just worry for Ja, that's all. Especially because he's not the biggest body. You know what I mean? Russ was jacked and, like, could handle some physicality.
Right.
Ja's not like that. So,
no.
I think he's smaller than Derrick Rose was. So, like, built-wise. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's Ja. Klay Thompson.
I'm going to say tragic. Just because this is a guy who, up until the finals in 2019 against the Raptors, this guy was one of the best two-way players, 3-and-D players in the league. One of the best shooters by far. And not only could he give you insane shooting clips, but can also lock up your best offensive player.
Yes.
After the Achilles injury, he's taken a back seat to Wiggs in that sense. The shot is still there, but it's just...
Which is fine, because I think Wiggs has the body better for guarding your best player, which is fine to me.
Yeah, it's totally fine. But, I mean, just the fall from grace that has been Klay Thompson, and, like, the two major injuries consecutively is just is sad. It's really sad. But I'm glad that he's kind of getting his footing under him in like this new lesser role of just shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And it'll definitely it'll extend his career if that is what his role is for the rest of his career. Whether he stays in Golden State or goes to a different team, if he's just like the Ray Allen role in Miami, he'll have no problem playing another 4 or 5 years.
Yeah. My word is soon. Like, people really get like frustrated when players aren't the same off these type of injuries. Like, you have to think he didn't play for almost 2.5 years. Actually like 3 years. It was 900 days or so. Like, it's an anomaly that Kevin Durant came off that Achilles and was the same guy off the jump. It was an anomaly that Adrian Peterson tore his ACL and won an MVP the next year. Like, that shit doesn't happen. It takes a year of being on the court to get back to who you are. And I got news for you. And I'm saying this right now. Okay? You can quote me on it. Klay Thompson will make his first all-defensive NBA team this year. And I think he will just barely be a snub for All-Star. I think over these next 20 games are going to be gigantic because we're getting to that time where he's almost got a full season of games under his belt after the injury. And we saw what he did these last 2 weeks. He's slowly shooting the ball better. I'm telling you right now, Klay will be back to who he was. I'm telling you. Because that's the thing about his game. He doesn't and people say, well, he's a jump shooter. The guy doesn't jump when he shoots. He doesn't rely on his legs when he shoots.
No, it's all upper body.
It's all upper body. His defense, like, maybe shuffling his feet might be a bit of an issue, but like,
that's about all he has to do, though.
He's always been a handsy defender anyways. I think Klay will be the same player. I think there's a chance by the end of the year he's averaging 21 points a game again. And I think Jordan Poole, you'll see his numbers be a little bit down, and Wiggs a little bit maybe not Wiggs because he starts off really well, but I truly believe that we will see prime Klay again. I really do. And maybe not for long, you know what I mean? Maybe these injuries take a little bit off later of like prime Klay, but I think we'll get him at some point this year, and it will stay that way for at least another 1 or 2.
That's interesting.
Because it's true. Like, you look at his game, like, I don't see why he can't. And we know how much we hear all the interviews. He is the most competitive motherfucker in the NBA. Like, people don't understand that, but you listen to all kinds of interviews, whether it's on JJ Redick or on The Jump or All the Smoke. Like, Klay is the most competitive person in the league. Which is crazy to think about because he's not necessarily a guy that talks or like goes like crazy in the media. He's a guy that puts his head down and works harder than damn near everybody, not named Steph Curry, LeBron James, Giannis. Like,
yeah.
So, yeah, look out for sure.
It's interesting.
We'll do 3 more. I'll do this one because we're both like excited about this player. Tyrese Halliburton.
All-star.
I like it.
I think he's an all-star. First time all-star this year.
Mine is CP2.
Yeah.
I think he's on the same career trajectory as Chris Paul was. I don't look it up. They're literally like identical stats. His second year and Chris Paul's second year are identical. Like, literally.
But he's a way better shooter than Chris Paul. Better
shooter. And you know, you look at longevity. I think Tyrese Halliburton. I don't know. Like, I don't feel like Tyrese Halliburton will get the contracts against like cap percentage wise that Chris Paul got, so he'll probably have more help throughout his career.
Yeah.
You know, Indiana's kind of tough because they don't get many free agents, but who says he stays there? I mean, you got to think the guy's still only like 21, 22. Like,
right.
You know what I mean?
Right. It's crazy.
So, yeah, I love Tyrese Halliburton. I love what he's doing with Indiana. They're winning games. Like, they're 9-5, I think.
Yeah.
I just want to double check, so I don't want to be talking on my ass again. They're 10-6.
That's fair.
Yeah, fourth. They're behind Boston, Milwaukee, and Cleveland. Arguably the three best teams so far this year. So, yeah, dude, I love what Tyrese is doing, especially with not having a lot of talent. And Buddy Hield's perfect with him.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, I love it.
I do too.
Let's see. Actually, we'll just do one more.
All right.
Jordan Poole.
2 words.
Batty.
Baddie killer.
Killer.
Baddie killer.
Baddie killer.
This
Yes.
is a guy who, when you got the TikTok thoughts and the OnlyFans chicks, the Twitter IG models in the front row, he's going to score all of Golden State's points, all of the opposing team's points. He's going to be announcing the game. He's going to be handing out concessions in the game. He's going to be the stadium operations. He's going to be reffing the game. Jordan Poole is going to be the fucking game.
Yeah.
He's that dude.
It reminds me of that, I forget the dude's name, but the big heavyset guy, he's like holding the football, offensive lineman, defensive lineman, running back, quarterback, wide receiver, tight end, cornerback, strong safety, free safety, head coach, GM, owner.
That's only when you got the baddies in the front row.
Yeah.
When they're
He's a different player with baddies, and that's okay. Everyone wants to shine for the baddies.
When they're in the 16th row, he's Jordan Poole.
Yeah, he can't see him. He can't see him out there. Put him on the front row. Golden State needs give out 2 season tickets. That's all. That's all you got to do. Yeah. 2 season tickets to some baddies. Put them in the front row. Preferably like mid-court, so like when they switch courts between the quarters, you can still have view. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, the baddie killer, Jordan Poole. He's our guy, bro.
Yeah. Look, we'd love to have Jordan Poole on the pod.
If we ever, and again, share, spread this podcast so we can grow. If we get to a point where we can interview players, he's our number one, I think.
Exactly.
He's first.
This is a little off topic, but one of my girlfriend's friends, her name is Dia. Shout out to Dia. She's from San Francisco, and she's a huge Warriors fan, just like yourself. She knows Steph's sister. They talk on DMs. She's gotten pictures with Jordan Poole, Damian Lee. There's a couple other players that she said, but huge hoop head. And I asked her because she met Jordan Poole. I was like, I hear he's for the girls, for the baddies, and she said, absolutely. He is a lady killer, absolutely.
We're gonna have to talk about your girlfriend's friend off the pod. But Dia, hit my line. Okay. Anyways,
he's shooting the shot live on the pod is crazy.
Hey,
I got you, bro.
If you're a friend of Jordan Poole, you're a friend of me. That's all I gotta say.
It's true. And she a big Warriors fan. Big Warriors fan.
Absolutely, bro. Chopping it up. Imagine, oh my God, bro. It's my dream to have a girl in my life that is as much of a hoop head or sport head as I am. It is a dream.
Yeah.
And I will continue to not marry until I find it.
Yeah. In my situation, it's not that way, but listen, I got a lot of love for my girl.
Absolutely.
I love her so much.
That's no disrespect towards your vibe. That's no disrespect. No, I got love for y'all. Love for you. I'm just saying my needs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, listen, it's cool that she's not really like that big of a sport head, but I'm here to, get her into it gradually, slowly, Yeah, I mean, when we're like in our 30s and 40s and we have like kids and stuff and they're off to college, what else are we going to talk about? Sports.
Football, basketball,
racing.
Red October.
Yeah. Dancing on my own.
Yeah.
But yeah. I was just thinking that because we were talking Jordan Poole and that was a conversation we had. So Shout out.
Yeah. We're gonna have to talk about that some more off the podcast, but for sure, no cap. Yeah, that will definitely be the first thing I ask you about as soon as we hit end show. Thanksgiving.
We'll keep you updated on that, fellas.
Yeah, we'll keep y'all updated, okay? We're gonna have to have a party. I'm gonna have to get some lights in here, like, you know, if we secure the bag, okay, it's gonna be documented. Don't you worry.
No doubt. We'll have a Jordan Pool party style podcast for you.
Yes. All right. Turkey Day.
Thanksgiving. The gobble gobble game.
Yeah. What you want to start with? Let's talk Buffalo, Detroit.
Yeah, let me
Pull up the odds.
share the screen here with you fellas. So yeah, we got 3 Thanksgiving Day games for you on Thursday. We'll talk about the odds. We'll make those picks. We'll also kind of like preview these games.
Mm-hmm.
Just pull up the odds here. My fault, fellas. Okay.
You good?
Okay. Wow. Okay. So this first one, Bills Lions in Detroit. Buffalo coming off a dub against the Brownies. The Lions coming off of a huge statement win against the Giants. I don't think really anybody saw that coming.
No.
I think this is going to be a game for the Bills to kind of like continue to keep building off of last week.
Yeah.
Against a not so good football team.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. For me, like if we're talking spread, Buffalo is a -9.5 favorite on the road.
Yeah.
I don't like that with how Buffalo's been playing.
Yeah.
I'm going to take +9.5 Detroit. Just because they're at home, it's Thanksgiving. Like, I feel like Dan Campbell's going to have those boys ready to play. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, man, it's Thanksgiving. We got to put together some good film, get out there, crush heads, break ankles. And they got to play some ball, dude. I think they'll be ready to play. I don't think they win. But no, and Detroit, they just put up points. Like, they just do. Unless it's New England, who beats them like 29-0. But no, like they put up points. Buffalo can give up points, and Buffalo can skid on offense here and there. So I think I like the game to be a little bit closer than that. Maybe a 7-point win, Buffalo, but I feel like that's a pretty big spread, being a road favorite on, you know, a stage like the Lions on Thanksgiving is a staple in the NFL. So
that's fair.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I'm torn on it though, because I feel like Buffalo probably beat the brakes off of Detroit.
I'd absolutely see it happen. I can see it happening. I just don't think so. I don't know.
I'll ride with you. Give me Lions +9.5.
I respect it.
Imagine a Dan Campbell win on Thanksgiving.
Dude, he's gonna be drunk as fuck in the locker room, bro. This is their Super Bowl.
That's true. So yeah, I like them to cover if this is their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Next game, this is the 4:30 game. That was the 12:30 game, by the way.
Yep.
4:30 game. The New York Giants going into Dallas to take on the Cowboys. Giants coming off of an upsetting loss. The Cowboys coming off of a blowout win against one of the best NFC teams in the Vikings. Again, Dallas 9.5-point favorite at home.
Yeah.
I like them at 9.5.
You like Dallas at 9.5?
It's tough because, like, I could see them continuing the momentum here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But again, the Giants, it's Thanksgiving. They're also coming off a very sour loss. This is almost a must-win for them to kind of keep them in the playoff hunt.
Yeah, because they still have 2 games against Philly.
Yep, and they're losing all both of them.
Whatever. Anyways.
Just saying.
Mm-hmm. For me, like looking at this game, this has the exact makings of what Dallas, Minnesota had, just flipped. Like Dallas is coming off a huge emotional win over another NFC favorite, and Minnesota was coming off a heartbreaking. I mean, fuck. What am I saying? I'm a little high. It's flipped for the Cowboys. Like now they're not the team coming off a heartbreak loss anymore. They're coming off a heartbreak win. I could see the Giants taking advantage of that. I just don't think they're talented enough to win. So I feel it's kind of like this other game. I like Dallas to win. I just, again, like I always say, divisional football games.
Right.
I like the Giants to keep it close, and I'm right. Like, sheesh.
Yeah. You know what? Give me the Giants plus 9.5. I just don't want to see a Dallas Cowboys win. It would also help. It would also help tremendously for the Eagles in the NFC East. It'd be
you would rather tremendous. The reason why you'd rather a Giants win is because they play the Eagles twice and Dallas only has 1 more game against them. Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's true. And look, if as much wiggle room we can have to solidify the division and the 1 seed, I'm cool with. Like, I'm cool with them beating the Vikings last week. That gives us some wiggle room with Minnesota. It's a 1.5 games.
Yep.
And I really hope the Giants beat the Cowboys this week, because then that gives us like what, 2.5 game wiggle room for the East.
Yeah, because you beat Dallas, right?
Oh yeah, we beat Dallas.
Yeah, forgot. Whatever. You have the tiebreaker over Dallas. Actually, no. You probably want Dallas to win, because then you're like legit 2 games over Giants, and you're a game and a tiebreaker over Dallas.
That's fair.
You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at it, whatever gets you higher up on the division, I think Dallas winning does that for you.
Yeah. Either way, it's gonna be a win-win for the Eagles.
Yeah, because one team's gonna take a loss. Simple as that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And then this third game here for Turkey Day, New England Patriots going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. The Patriots are only 2.5-point dogs on the road.
Yeah.
Now,
I feel
Bill Belichick does. I feel like this is a play on that blowout. Bill Belichick has had his team playing hard, though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're what, 6-4? Very much in the AFC East conversation and the playoff for the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
I like this to be a bounce back game for the Vikings, though.
Yeah, I took Minnesota at -2.5. I think they only win by 3 though. I think this is a nail biter, because they're not gonna. And I think it's proven now that if you can slow down Justin Jefferson, the Vikings for some reason feel like they don't have another option when you have like a top running back, and Adam Thielen's really good, and TJ Hawkins is supposed to do that. It's like I feel like they get so lost when Justin Jefferson isn't playing the way he is, and he's going up against 2 really, really good corners in Jack Jones and Jonathan Jones. So, it could almost be an upset, truthfully. It could. I just think Minnesota, again, kind of like what Dallas did to them last week, coming off a heartbreaking loss. I think the Vikings will be ready to play, and same thing with the Patriots. They're coming off a heartwarming win. So,
right.
I think this should be a Vikings win and probably a cover.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
How you riding with me all the way?
We're riding together for Turkey Day.
I'm with it.
That's cool.
Yeah, bro.
I'm cool with that. You want to wait on the rest of these games?
Yeah, let's wait on the rest of them. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Let's just celebrate Turkey Day as it is with the 3.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's everything I got for the show, brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, again, thank you for tuning in. It's always fun hopping on here with my boy. Breaking down some games, breaking down some players, and doing that whole thing. If you're from the US, I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving with your day ones at home. And if you ain't from around here, it's almost Friday. So enjoy your Thursday because it's almost the weekend.
Right.
Yeah, for real. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend on a boat, on a plane, on the moon, whatever.
Pluto.
Get your day one
Mars,
pod.
Sun.
Yeah. Get your day one pod over here on YouTube because we got some heat coming out every single time. So I'm your boy Kyle. That's Anthony. We'll catch you on the next one.
Peace.